Before we leave, I do have to ask you one thing. Like, how did I love Mitch Hedberg. I actually had a class in high school. In college, where it wasn't a Mitch Hedberg class at all. It was it was called The Daily Show, and we were supposed to write bits, and we never did it. We just watched Mitch Hedberg clips. Like the teacher was also obsessed with it. Like we would just get into class and watch YouTube Mitch Hedberg clips.
Oh my god!
So like, could you give us a Mitch Hedberg story?
Oh yeah. So like I remember he first came to Acme in Minnesota. And he was just hanging out in the green room. I was like, man, you're just the best. I can't believe that I'm friends with you. And then I get emotional talking about Mitch because like he was a real good friend, and obviously he died. But anyway, he was like, he came up to me the next week and he was like, hey Pete, and I was like, dude, do you remember my name? And he was like, well, you said we're friends. Like he's like you said I can't believe I get to be friends with you. He's like, we're friends now. And I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. So we'd hang out like. I'd go open for him here and there, just a great guy. And then I was in Montreal for the Montreal Just for Last Comedy Festival, and this like little Minnesota couple came up to me, and they were like, our son told us that if we could ever come watch you, that we would really like you. And I just gotten done with New Faces. I was like still sweating, and I was like, oh, who's your son? And they're like, Mitch Hedberg. Oh, and fuck. It was the anniversary of his death, and so they had him up there to honor him. And give his parents this award, and I just started crying. Like
man, that's like the biggest, best cosign you can get from a legend.
Yeah, on the spot, I just started crying, and I hugged his parents, and like we all cried together. I was like, that is so beautiful. So that's kind of a sad story. A funny story was we used to be in this death pool at Acme, and like all the comics, it'd be like me, Hedberg, Stanhope was always there. Like all the local comics would be in it. And I remember I'm sitting next to Stanhope, and we're picking celebrities that are going to die. And Stanhope is like, Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, no. Fuck.
And Hedberg was like, oh, that's cruel, man. Yeah. That's really cruel. I'm not doing well. And then Mitch died that year. And, and like, as sick as
this is the funny story.
Yeah, this is the funny story.
It is funny as shit.
It is funny, but like as sad as it is, when Mitch passed away, we were all crying and whatever, and like that was the thing that makes comedians laugh. Like, remember when Stanhope picked him in the death pool, and like Stanhope is literally in the lead now because of this.
That's amazing.
But
I love it, dude. You're a funny ass guy. Obviously, if you're getting the cosign like that. So July 9th, Tall, Dark, and Pleasant. Go check it out on Showtime. Thanks. 96% of you motherfuckers watch these videos and aren't subscribed. Shout out to the 4%. You are good people. 4% of people are watching our clips.
That's about what I would guess the breakdown of
good people versus bad people
in the world.
Yeah.
Good people versus bad people. Probably about 96% to 4.
That's fair.
Be a good person.
But it's not even. I'm not even asking you to be a good person. I'm asking you to push a button.
Yeah,
I'm asking you to click a button.
Yeah, you can be a bad person still, but just click the button.
You can be a piece of shit. Just click subscribe. 96% of you watch these clips and they're like, oh my God, that was a funny clip from this podcast. I liked it. And I'm just not going to help them out. The people who work to make it, the people who work to produce it, to post it, to upload it, and there's nothing from you. You're a bad person if you don't subscribe.
Be a good one.